Duke Nukem Forever was announced in 1996 originally and was supposed to be out by 1998. We all know how all that worked out, but in between then and the eventual acquisition of the IP by this greaseball, there were a whole bunch of Duke Nukem spin-off games for the PlayStation, the N64, the Game Boy Advance, and even one or two for the PC. There was one, though, that even I didn't know existed. It was being developed for the PlayStation 2. Ultimately, it got canceled, but the prototype was recently just leaked. How we doing? Radio Geek here, and on today's show, I just want to take a brief look at this canceled PlayStation 2 game, Duke Nukem DDay, also called Duke Nukem Man of Valor. This game started development in 1999 by N-Space, who also did Land of the Babes and Time to Kill for PS1. I have those on Evercade. When I first played them, I wasn't terribly fond of them, but I think I want to go back and take another look at them sometime. DDay was canceled in 2003 for a lack of significant progress, according to 3D Realms. Apparently, the studio had a hell of a time working with the PS2 hardware, and from what I hear, the PS2 was notoriously difficult to develop for, so that makes sense. This one would have been co-published with Gathering of Developers and Rockstar Games, who wanted it out by 2000. That would have given them only a year to work on the game if they had their way. This is how George Broussard described the game. It was a PS2 game where Duke went back in time and was a key factor in all the major WW2 events and helped turn the tide. Of course, it was a kind of alternate reality where there were alien
Nazis.
I wish that game had worked out because it would have been among the very first WW2 games to come out before you saw one in a week. The first level starts you off in a strip club because, of course it does, this is a Duke Nukem game, what did you expect? There's all kinds of graphical weirdness going on here because this is a barely functional prototype, so keep that in mind. This is a lot like when the 2001 E3 build of Duke Nukem Forever leaked and you could technically play it, but not a lot of stuff worked right. And he kind of had to jump from level to level to see everything. You get your pistol to start off with, and what feels like infinite ammo for it, and you can pick up pipe bombs, a Vulcan minigun, and an EDF laser rifle as well. The laser rifle I didn't use too much. It's cool, it's just kind of a bitch to aim with a controller. The pistol at least will auto-aim at any target in your way, and I think that is kind of nice because aiming with a controller just sucks. I think the minigun does that too, but I just couldn't get it to work with the laser rifle. The enemies here are different too. Not a pig cop or octobrain in sight, just these, yeah, I'm not sure what these are. A few levels in and Duke is back in World War II fighting
Nazis,
with the occasional alien also popping up. There's a level where you're on a boat and a level where you're on a plane. I think these are both supposed to be turret levels, but I could not get the turret to work. The normal shoot button just wasn't doing anything, and no other button was doing it either. I did not stay in these levels for long. The last level's an alien mothership, and at first I thought these enemies were Duke clones, but then I looked closer and saw they had goatees. So I don't know, maybe they're mirror universe Dukes or something. I'm going to be honest, I didn't play a lot of these levels long enough to really break any of them down. So maybe there's something I missed. I'm sure there is. I meant down into thing. There is a distinct lack of music, only being there for one or two levels, and even a lack of John St. John's voice. It's there, it just doesn't come up very often. I think maybe if the PS2 was easier to develop for, this might have actually seen the light of day, but I'm not a game developer, so what the hell do I know? It would have been interesting for sure, but I think by 2030, most people were just kind of fed up with Duke spin-offs and just wanted to play Forever already. And if Forever had come out back then, it probably could have been really good. But much like Duke Nukem Forever, hopefully a dedicated team of modders can crack this thing open and make something cool out of it. And if that day ever comes, I'll probably make a video singing its praises. Not actually singing. None of you want to hear that. But you know what I mean. Anyway, that's it. There's my Duke Nukem D-Day video, or Man of Valor video, or whatever you want to call it. Not sure yet what the next video is going to be about, but I'm sure something will come to me. Until then, I got a split. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.